Hi, I'm Muhammad Khoirul and I'm 22 years old. Here, I want to make a video about my vacation. I called the trip to Wonogiri. In the last 2018, I decided to take a vacation to Wonogiri at my grandparents' house. The vacation was my visit after 8 years, I think, yeah, 8 years of not visiting them. And my mom, who gave the idea to go there by taking my old grandfather or my mom's dad, because she wanted to meet my dad's father. I mean my dad's parents. And the reason is because my dad was in Indonesia and there was a free time to go there. Because before that time, my father was working at Saudi Arabia. So while he was in Indonesia, so we we decided to take a vacation to Wonogiri to my dad's parents. After we arrived at Solo, we were picked up by my cousin by using a car. And I think this car is unique because it is special for the steep and the winding terrain. Why? Because my grandparents' house is at the top of the mountain. There is no other house above my grandparents' house. Yeah, my grandparents' house is at the top of the mountain. And the road that we must be passed is quite steep, but still can be passed by your cars. And we arrived at my grand's and we arrived at grandparents' house at night. After a long journey, we immediately take a break. After greeting them, we had dinner together, and we miss them so much. We really miss them. And I said before, my grandparents house is at the top of the mountain. And that moment when we had dinner together, that's provided a warm vibes that's enveloping us over the cold air above the mountain. The morning here provides a beautiful and calming vibes. The cool morning breeze, the chirping of the birds and animals that near, an atmosphere that I haven't felt for a long time while busy with work in the city. So here my morning activity. I went outside and I sat in on the side of the road and I was wearing a thick jacket while feeling the warmth of the morning sun that began to slowly emerge. And I do the same thing uh, when the sun is goes down. I sat on the side of the road watching the sunset. And of course, this is not the same place because when I sat on the side of the road watching the sunrise is that way and watching the sunset on that way. And actually it's not far from my grandparents' house. It's about 100 and 200 meters, and that's really good memories. That vibes is very calm. The second day in my grandparents' house, we decided to climb the hill called Bukit Jingring. The hills is not far from my grandparents' house. It's about 300 until 500 meters. And in the middle of the road, we saw a group monkeys. Yes, a wild group of monkeys was moving from one place to another place. And we did not immediately follow them and taking a picture because behind the group there was a leader who was this half I mean who was half the size of my body. That is big, really, and it's scary because it's wild. It the monkey is wild. It's forest, the mountain. Of course, all animals are wild. And why we call that is a leader? Because after the group monkeys across the road, he stood still and he was like, "What do you looking at?" It's just like, wow, that's really scary. So we did not immediately follow them. And after thought it was safe, we also intended to show where the monkeys went. Yeah, we go to that group monkeys was across, and we taking a picture and looking where the monkeys went.
Oh, kayak. Pokoknya yang gerak-gerak itu ya, itu monyetnya guys. Nah, ini monyet satu lagi di bawah nih, pemimpinnya. Ini pemimpinnya nih. Iya, pemimpinnya.
After being satisfied to see monkeys and pine trees, yes, a trip to Bukit Jingring, we passed a lot of pine trees, and we continue to Bukit Jingring. It didn't take long because, like I said before, it's not far from my grandparents' house. It's about 300 or 500 meters, but it's quite tired to reach the top because, you know, at the top of the mountain the oxygen is very thin, but the struggle is paid off because of the beauty that was presented when it reached the top. And we can see the appearance of the Mount Lawu and the Mount Merbabu from the top of the hill. And after satisfied with the sunset from the top of the hill, we returned to our grandparents' house to rest and had dinner together. In the third day, actually, we had planned that we want to visit one of the temples in Solo, but because of the short time, it didn't happen because my father has to go back to work abroad, and also I will work again in Jakarta. A short vacation at my grandparents' house in Wonogiri was very memorable in my family. It can be seen from my mom's father. He's more cheerful than before, leaving for a moment the pain that he suffered, even though my mom's father died 7 months later in April 2019. And I can feel the warmth of my little family who has not been together for 5 years because my father was working at Saudi Arabia. And many things that I tell to my father about what I had been through while away from him. And this short vacation, it really can refresh all fatigue that we has been faced before. Yeah, this vacation is very memorable for me. The vibes, my grandparents, my mom's father, my dad, my brother. It's really great. It's really good memories. And that's all about my vacation, a trip to Wonogiri. Thank you for your attention and thank you for watching. I'm Fajri. Goodbye.